What the heck is going on, boys and girls? My name is No Mercy Merc, and I'm really excited for today's video because I'm going to show you what I think is the best vlogging setup for 2021. And what's the first thing you need when you're going to go vlogging? Oh, a camera. Of course, a camera. The camera that we're going to be rocking in 2021 for vlogging is the Sony ZV1. This camera right here came out May 26th of 2020. So it's one of the newer point and shoot vlogging cameras that there are on the market right now. But what's the most important about this is that this was built for content creators. It even says right here, content creation made simple. I mean, they made this with the content creator in mind. Its autofocus is one of the best on the market right now. This is comparable to like their $2,000 version of the A7S III. Now you're probably asking like, what the heck has this box been through? I mean, look at these gashes. I bought this lightly used from Amazon. And what does that mean? It specifically said the box was gonna be damaged, but it was gonna be left unopened. And it saved me $100 on this camera. I think we just saved an easy $100 by not getting a pristine box. So I say we go ahead and get this thing open and take a quick look at it. All right, this Amazon sticker makes it a little tough to open. So let's go ahead and flip this around and open it up like the treasure box you always had as a kid. It's really packaged in here. They got information on information. I mean, information overload right there. We can throw that aside. And camera and body battery may get worn with use. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so first things in the box, you're greeted with the USB cable. It's a USB-A with a micro USB on the other end of it. And the cool thing about this camera is that it can actually be used as a webcam just through this cord right here. You don't need a capture card, so you can just plug it into your computer, use it in all your Zoom calls. I think that makes it perfect in 2021 because we still got COVID going on. So I think this is brilliant for them to allow this feature right out of the box with no extra hardware needed. And then what we have right here in the beautiful bag is going to be our Sony ZV1. So, I mean, right off the get-go, I mean, this thing has some weight. I previously had a Canon S110, and that was from like 2012. And this is, wow, this has weight compared to my little Canon. I guess one of the first things to take notice of is this beautiful flip out screen. So Sony in the past has not included this on any of their point and shoots. So this is a huge win for content creators because being able to frame up your shot and where you are in it, make sure you have autofocus. It's a huge win for content creators, honestly, on this front. The one thing you have to be really careful with the flip out screen is that you don't actually end up looking at the screen and not at the lens. That's a no-no. And next thing right off the bat is this microphone on the top. It seems to have a very big footprint, which is impressive because it actually houses 3 internal directional microphones that capture the person who's in front of the camera the most. We're gonna be taking a look at all the features of this camera in a later video, but for right now, I mean, this looks and feels like a beautiful piece of equipment. So what else comes in the box? On this side, we have a battery. It uses the classic NP-BX1 battery that they've been using for as long as I can remember, honestly. They're not the best. They aren't as long lasting as you would hope for in a new generation camera, but they do the job. Luckily, they're relatively cheap, so you can kind of just pick up a couple from Amazon. And last but not least, it looks like on this side, we have this lovely contraption that they have decided to include in the box. This is called a dead cat in the industry. And what's beautiful about it is that it actually comes with a shoe mount. And a shoe mount is this. On top of the camera, there's actually, this slides out. And right there, you'll see there, it has a place where this just conveniently just slips in. And what it does, it's gonna actually block a lot of the wind noise that would actually be blowing right into this camera up here. The difference between this being off and on is night and day, even when you're talking about just walking, not even running, no crazy wind activities, but this is a game changer. So I know, now you're probably saying, all right, Merc, I mean, we got a camera, we can just vlog. What else do we need for a vlogging setup? Honestly, we're good to go. Let's just go vlog, you know? I mean, you're more than welcome to just go ahead and start vlogging your life away on this thing. But there are some small things that we can add to this to really beef it up and make it the best vlogging camera it can be. One thing in particular that this camera does very poorly is its trap door for its battery and SD card reader. When you open this up, it actually opens up over the tripod thread right here, which is a major no-no. Like, that makes it almost impossible that if you're on a gimbal or you're using a tripod of any sort, you can't just pop this open, swap out the battery, swap out a new SD card. This is one of the biggest flaws that they had with this camera and content creators. But let's fix that. I'll show you exactly what you need. The first accessory we're going to talk about to kind of solve that issue is called a small rig. So these things have been blowing up in the industry, and that I feel like I didn't hear about these but like 1 year ago. Like, these have really popped up out of nowhere, and they make rigs for literally everything you can think of. This is made specifically for the Sony ZV1. So let's get it open and let's take a look. Nice little cut there, pop it open. All right, so looking at it, it might not look like much. It is very, very light, if I might add, but this thing packs a punch. What it is it's something that actually attaches onto the bottom of the camera. You screw in the bottom, it gives you extra grip, it gives you extra tripod treads here. And what's the most important thing is once you actually have this on, they made this amazing contraption on this small rig that, see how this screw that screws into the bottom tread kind of jets out like that? That actually allows the battery trap door to open while this is on, meaning you can have a tripod in any of these treads here and you can successfully open up that trap door, swap out the battery, swap out the SD card. This right here would be the #1 accessory I would say you need for this camera, just for ease of use. And as content creators, we need ease of use because sometimes moments come up on the fly. Sometimes we need to be ready for the shot. Sometimes our battery just isn't there, but we don't have time to undo a tripod, to open the door, swap out, put a tripod back on. We just don't have the time because we're vlogging. We're trying to catch like real world moments. So it just makes sense for this trapdoor to be accessible whenever we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on and then we can get on to the next accessory. It's literally as easy as just tightening this Allen wrench onto this. And I mean, that's it, you're done. The easiest installation, the easiest, look, literally I can have a tripod on here now and not have to worry about covering up my door. So smart. And look at that aesthetic. Look at that faux wood. You just love the look of it. It's all about looks too, you know? The next accessory on our agenda is this spare battery. So I was just talking a couple of minutes ago how these batteries really aren't the best. And what I would recommend is picking up a couple spares. So this one in particular has a rechargeable case. The case doesn't actually hold a charge, but you plug in a micro USB and it'll actually recharge the battery while in your bag if you have some sort of like a power bank or anything like that. So if we go ahead and pop this open, this one's not gonna be as exciting because it is just a battery, but it's a very important accessory to have, honestly, because like I said, these batteries, they run out. And the really nice thing about this pack in particular is that, yeah, you get the battery and the batteries are like 25 bucks, but this with the battery is $35. So you might as well have this in your bag as well for an extra $10 because the nice thing is you literally just slide it in, slide it closed, And then on this side, you literally just plug it in with a little micro USB. And the nice thing is that's the same cord that came with your camera. So there's no extra cord to bring around. It's just so nice to have this for an extra $10. Would highly recommend this. So to stick on the theme of usability accessories, this Samsung memory card, SD card, is a must. I mean, obviously you can go with any brand, but I mean, Samsung's been trusted for so long with, you know, M.2 drives, HHD drives inside of computers for so long that, I mean, it's just a trusted brand. You get the Pro Plus brand. It has crazy read and write speeds. It's rated for 4K, which this camera can do. And honestly, the prices on these things are crazy low now. Like, I think I was looking back in like 2012, there was like a 1 gigabyte hard drive or something for $120. This thing 128 times bigger, and you can get it for like 30 bucks. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. I think we might all have already opened a SD card before, so I don't think I really have to open this, but I guess I will. You don't have to be super gentle with it or anything. You just plop it out. Oh, that's a nice little separation. They got the plastic, and there you go. Ready to slip it into the camera and get going. Shoot your 4K, shoot your 1080p, 120 frames per second. So now we're getting to the last two accessories, which are nice to have. They're definitely not a necessity like most of the others, but this one in particular is really gonna help with your framing, your steadiness of the cam. This is just something that you can use to get like some more unique shots, put it in places that you wouldn't normally put a camera. And that is gonna be one of these kind of like gorilla style pods. This one in particular is a little different than the Joby, I think they're called, that have the like ball pivot joint things. I've had those in the past and I just don't think they work as well as something like this. So what you want to look for in a tripod if you're going with a bendy type is you want a ballpoint tip kind of thing so that you have like full directional use of it. You can get it at a 90-degree angle, which is super helpful. You would be very surprised. And so the nice thing about this one is I feel like it has really more grip than any of the Joby pods with the balls, because you can, these things are very wrappable and they don't pop out. Like I've seen others with the ball joint style kind of just pop out of one another, and then it's not as steady. It doesn't hold on to as many things. So I think this is a must. So I think a tripod like this can be really interesting, especially for vlogging. Like I said, you can strap this onto a pole, strap it onto a tree. You can get some really interesting shots with a tripod like this. So I would highly recommend it for vlogging. So last but not least, we're gonna have a Ulanzi wide angle lens adapter. So this is really interesting because I don't think this is necessary for everyone, but anybody who has kind of short arms or wants to use the active stabilization on the camera. I say the active stabilization because when you use the active stabilization, it actually crops into your face. So instead of the normal 24mm, it actually crops to more of like a 30mm. So the nice thing about this is that this can actually give you some of your frame back even if you crop in for the active stabilization. One reason why I say this might not necessarily be needed is if you have long enough arms, then you kind of don't need the extra frame around you, because you can kind of get your arm far enough out that you can fit your whole self inside of the vlogging frame. There's a lot of people who claim that like, oh, this camera's too cropped in to be a proper vlogging camera. I don't necessarily think so, but I mean, to each their own. Watch some sample footage of both raw and the wide angle on. There's plenty of them out there. I might make one. Check the description below. I might have made one already. And to mention, the installation on this camera is semi-permanent. So it actually comes with something like this. It's a little ring that has a 3M adhesive on it. So you actually stick this 3M adhesive onto the front of your lens, and it creates a thread that this can then screw onto. So this part isn't the semi-permanent part. This is the semi-permanent part. So it doesn't add much thickness to the actual lens, but once you throw this on, you have to be careful because it can be a little heavy on the motors in the lens. So we can talk about that more in a different video. This product is very Apple-esque. It is pretty nice. All right, I'll give them this. And I've heard great things about this lens. I really have, for sure, but. All right, so when we take a look at this camera, you get the instruction manual, and then, ooh. I mean, the packaging is very, very nice. It comes with a lens cap, which is really impressive, honestly. And this thing is a really good build quality. I mean, this thing is pure metal and glass. And so you have this thread that undoes. And so this is actually what ends up screwing onto your lens. Build quality is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It also comes with a little microfiber cloth, which is a nice touch, you know, always good with a lens. So boys and girls, that is the Sony ZV1 and what I believe are the 5 most essential accessories for vlogging in 2021. I honestly don't think that you can get a better vlogging camera in 2021. As of right now, it is January, it's early, I know there's gonna be stuff that comes out, but the most bang for your buck, the most compact that you can probably get for the quality that it's gonna produce. I do not think you'll be disappointed in this camera, any of these accessories, and I'm really excited to see some of the vlogs that come out of not only my camera, but when you guys decide to start vlogging, I want to see all your vlogs. So go ahead and leave a comment down below if you're a vlogging channel, if you're interested in vlogging, if you have cold feet on vlogging, just kind of tell me what's going through your mind down there. I love to interact with all of you, and if this video helped you out at all, feel free to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next video. Bye. Is that it? I guess.